This is, I think, the third in a group of mowers that I bought for $30. So I'll let you do the math and figure out how much I paid for this mower. And I haven't done anything to it yet except put an extension on the handle, because all I got with this mower was the state that it's in now, which is pretty rough, and the bottom half of the handle. So I stuck that upper half on there so I could at least push it around and get it up on my table. As you can see, it's got a lot of, mold and mildew kind of stuff. This is a pulsajet type carburetor system where you have the fuel tank, and then sitting on top of it is the carburetor, which was designed many years ago by Briggs Stratton. And I'm a big fan of this because you never have to worry about the carburetor being below the tank and then leaking out because of a needle seat gone bad or something like that, and you got gas that leaks out everywhere. That's impossible with this one because the carburetor is above the tank. Now the tanks can rust, but hopefully that doesn't happen, and you take good care of your equipment. And but yeah, every now and then the middle tank will rust through. This mower, when I got it, with the air filter was just top was just laying on the deck, so I don't have the bottom. So this has been, left out in the weather, exposed. You can see that governor spring is pretty rusty, but at least it's there. This does move back and forth like it's supposed to. Let's see how loose it is. That's actually pretty good for an old neglected mower. This lever right here looks kind of messed up. Yeah, somebody's twisted this completely around. So let me see if I can, there we go. So that's where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be right there. And then what I like to do with this type mower is I bend this down, which is designed to do, which then locks this in place, because it doesn't have the throttle cable. In the old days, you'd have a throttle cable that run from here, clip in that hole, and then run up to the side of the handle. You'd move the throttle up and down, and that would control the RPMs by doing that. But the cable's not there. I usually get rid of it anyway because nobody likes the old throttles anymore. So let me see if I can bend this down with. So we're gonna grab this right here, get a little energy on it here, and bend it down. It's not working very well. I need a tougher pair of pliers. Let me find one that's maybe a little more stout. Let me grab these. This is some vice grips, and put that on there and see if I can bend it with that and tighten it up a little bit. There we go. So see how that is bent down now? So now this is locked in place. So the speed, that's actually very good. The RPM should run about right now. It should be running correct. Okay. This is the pink thumb test. A little bit of pink on the end of my thumb from this getting kind of corroded. Let's take a look in the tank and see if it's full of rust or fuel or what. Looks like mostly rust. Looks like it's dry. So I may just pull that tank, this whole tank and carburetor off of here, stick another one on, and see how it goes. But the big question is, let's see, does it have, yeah, the spring is on there, so it's not gonna pull because the brake is on. So let's get the this little cover off of here. Where is my? There it is. Looking for my electric drill and get a 1/4-inch socket. And we're going to take this cover off so you can see what's under here. And we're going to pop that spring off and see if we have compression on this mower. So the little cover is off now. I don't want to lose that screw because it's not a universal screw. It's got to be just that one for it to hold that cover off. And if I can pull it out, I'm going to stick it right in there. So it hopefully doesn't get lost. Turn in a few threads, so that's kind of snug. Now I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to pile of stuff over there. And now it's still locked up. So, you know, not locked up, but the brake is on, so I can't pull that. So what do? You get a wire loop on the old pull mower handle, and you grab it. Grab the open side of the spring right there, and you pull towards you and down. And now you're taking that powerful spring off of there, and now this will move back and forth. So the brake is off. Now let's see if we got compression. Next I think what I'll do is set the camera down. There's no fuel in this mower, so I'm not worried about it starting. Let's just see if it's got compression and what's going on with it. See if we have a plug in it. Yeah, it does. Okay. I think it may have compression, maybe not a lot, but sometimes that can be deceptive. It may be just fine, may have a lot of compression, but just that rough test tells me, I think, that it does. So let's tilt it back and see what condition the blade is in. This is a mulching mower. The blade is pretty rough. It's ground down. Let me show what I'm talking about. That blade has lost the upper mulching part where it curves up and creates lift on the grass. There's a lot of gunk under here. So that blade is very thin towards the end, very worn out, so that's going to have to come off. But while it's back there, I'm going to go ahead and turn this with my hand. There's a little resistance, but not much. There's some. It may have enough compression to run. We'll see. Leave that blade on there just for testing right now and get it to run, and I'll change it out. So let's put this down and we're going to see if it's got any oil in it. The other thing I'm going to do is get it elevated. Wheel adjuster to work. Well, that one's frozen pretty solid. Let me try the back. That was frozen solid. Whew. To work on these mowers, I like to get them up off the table. But anyway, let's check and see if it's got any oil in it. It may tell the tale. It doesn't have much oil in it. They have a blown engine. Seeing a little bit on the dipstick. dipstick. Since I tilted it, that could be very little in there. Let's try. Let's put it back. Just to hold it in place. You got a paper towel. A piece here. A fragment of a paper towel. Get the dipstick out. See what the true oil level is now that it's flat on the table. One of the mowers I got from this purchase before was so full of oil you could not even pull the cord on it. I covered that in one of my previous videos. Screw it in, I'm going to pull it out, and it is a little overfilled with oil. I don't think it's critically overfilled, but at least there's some in there. I drained some of that off, especially the smokes. The plug looks pretty old. Let's get it out of there and look at it. I got a message on the internet from a little 15-year-old boy that wants to cut grass and didn't want to pay much for a mower, and I said, hey, I think I got one for you if I can get it running. He wanted a bag, and believe it or not, this one takes a bag. So that's a very wet plug. So I get the dampness off of it. So we got the dampness off of that plug. Yeah, it looks narrow. Let me get my capping tool here, and we will check it out. You get these little gapping tools in any auto parts store. They'll cost you $1 or $2. And what you want to do is slide the open gap along the edge of this disc, and the reading will say it starts at 0.020, and on these Briggs mowers you want it to be on 0.030 or 0.031. That's just about perfect, so there we go. So I'm going to put this plug back in and hope for the best. Back in there. Use this screwdriver. Okay, snug up. Get the plug back on there. Is everything still in the viewfinder? Yes, it is. Okay, good. So, I wonder, I should probably hook under here. I'm going to go ahead and take the cover off on this mower, but we'll come back and do that in the next video. So that's enough for today. This is going to be rescuing Fanny, F-A-N-N-Y. That's what I'm naming this mower. When you come back, I will have worked on these wheels and lubricated them. I'll have taken off the rewinder to see if there's any critters living up under there and make sure the flywheel key is not sheared. That's the next step. But so when you come back, I'll update you on all that.